Blizzard Entertainment has a ridiculously storied history filled with classic games, cult-like fan bases, epic cinematic trailers, and most recently, corporate greed and a metric ton of allegations. We're talking about Overwatch 2 today, by the way. How can you even put into words what Overwatch meant to Blizzard and the community back in 2016? All of the rewards, all of the praise, all of the collective hours it stole from our lives. The long-awaited release of Overwatch is one of the most hyped-up competitive FPS games ever. It was going to be the next best thing since sliced bread. And in a lot of ways, it was. This was Blizzard's chance to make yet another big splash. It was essentially their take on Valve's mega hit Team Fortress 2. Do you remember those amazing cinematic trailers? Or the enthusiasm behind the Blizzard team? They were excited to show us what they had been cooking up, and we were excited to see it. For as glorious as the Overwatch name was back in 2016, in a lot of ways there is a stark difference between what it was and what it is now. I made a video back in 2022 discussing the launch of Overwatch 2 and what it was like and how people were pretty disappointed with it, so I decided to jump back into it in 2024 to see where it's at currently. It's time for Overwatch's annual doctor's appointment to see if it still has a heartbeat. And I'll let you in on a little secret. It's fun. But it still is a colossal failure in many ways and a huge disappointment to a lot of people, so let's talk about it. It's unfortunate yet true that the Overwatch name has been tainted. There's no way around it. Maybe you've been playing religiously for many years, or maybe you're a reoccurring player such as myself who just visits it from time to time. No matter what type of player you are, if you're familiar with the game, you would know that there is a negative stigma to it now, which makes me sad.
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine.
Overwatch 2 came to Steam in the summer of 2023, giving PC players the chance to now play it on Battle.net or Steam, and that's great for PC players. But it's not great for Blizzard's ego, as it quickly went on to become the worst-rated game in Steam history. That's almost kind of impressive in a way. Side note, I do like that the game is on Steam now. Get out of here with the Battle.net launcher, the EA launcher, the Epic Games launcher, the Ubisoft launcher, the Rockstar launcher, the fucking, I don't know, Roblox probably has a launcher. The worst part about Overwatch 2, in my opinion, is the way that corporate greed and false promises has tarnished what ultimately is a very fun and polished video game. Hey, it's me from the future. So it turns out that as I'm editing this video, the Act Man just released an Overwatch video where he pretty much expresses the exact same sentiment that I just said, which drills home my point even further.
And here's the thing, Overwatch will always be fun on a fundamental level, but the deception and lies perpetuated by Blizzard and Activision executives, I think has forever tarnished the game and my perception around it.
That's what I'm saying. Back to the video. Coming back to Overwatch has actually reminded me that Blizzard is some of the best in the business when it comes to their games playing smoothly and looking great. The art style of Overwatch still stands strong. The color palette is vibrant, player movement is smooth as hell, and abilities are still flashy and satisfying to use. The game never dropped a single frame either, and it still feels just as great to play as I remember. None of my issues with Overwatch 2 stem from anything involving the gameplay or the visuals. It comes from the blatant f*** you to its players. I mean, the treasure goblins at Blizzard made their plans a little bit too obvious, it seems, with this one. Remember when the entire point of having a sequel was to have this new epic PvE mode? All these new abilities and skill trees, new missions to tackle with your friends, infinite replayability, and it's not coming out anymore. You see, the entire business model was suspicious from the start. They took away loot boxes and switched to this free-to-play model with the addition of a battle pass as well. If you look at the insanely overpriced in-game shop, it's pretty clear that money was the entire reason for this evolution of the franchise. My tinfoil hat conspiracy around the game is that maybe those promises of this PvE mode and evolving the game was never meant to be fulfilled from the start. I feel like Blizzard probably knew that they weren't going to be able to deliver on all of these promises way sooner than they actually told the players. We got a fucking Grand Theft Auto 6 trailer before Overwatch 2 implemented anything that is significant. We are living in the upside down, okay? One of the stranger things about the switch from the original Overwatch to Overwatch 2 is that Overwatch 1 is just gone. It's just completely gone. If you remember, it wasn't a free-to-play game at launch. It was a $40 game with a $60 special edition and a $120 collector's edition if you really wanted to waste your money. Kind of like my brother. He still has the Modern Warfare 2 special edition from 2009 with the night vision goggles. You remember that? So wait a minute. What happens now if you wanted to buy that original Overwatch collector's edition? Is it even possible? Currently unavailable. We don't know when or if this item will be back in stock. So, it doesn't exist? Do I exist? There's now 3 types of currencies, I guess, or maybe even more now if you're including the currencies to unlock the golden weapons or currencies from special events. We have the Overwatch coins, and then we have the credits, and then we have the mythic prisms. Everything is a bit more convoluted than Overwatch 1, and it's all incentivized for you to buy. Check this out, there's a limited time deal on coins right now, and meanwhile Blizzard is like, please buy this. You'll never get a better deal than this. Oh, the Lifeguard Mega Bundle only used to be $127, and now it's on sale for $56. It doesn't get much better than that. This is coming from somebody who has purchased skins and various microtransactions plenty of times over the years. Mostly when I was younger, and I would beg my parents for their credit cards. So I guess they were the ones that bought a lot of microtransactions. That being said, it just doesn't feel nearly as justified with Overwatch 2 at all. There's bundles now for single skins, so they jack the skin price up and just give you a useless calling card or highlight intro with it or something like that. We just want the skin. There's bundles on bundles on bundles, but if you were to break it down and do all the math, none of it really makes sense or is worth it. Normally, I don't care if companies add microtransactions as long as it's not making the game pay to win, right? But this is just so egregious and obvious that it's just hard to not call it out or joke about it. I mean, the loot boxes were pretty fun back in the day, and normally you would have an actual high percentage to get a legendary or something cool out of it. Most importantly, you were actually able to earn loot boxes by regularly playing the game. For free. Look at all the ways that you used to be able to get loot boxes. What a time to be alive. It's very hard to imagine Blizzard getting back to the things that made the company so legendary in the first place. Especially when you realize that in Diablo Immortal, Blizzard's mobile game, it supposedly cost over $500,000 of microtransactions if you want to fully level up your character.
What the fuck is this piece of shit?
Is this real? Can somebody is this fake news? Can somebody please tell me? Even though so many people have left Overwatch behind, criticized it, trashed it, review bombed it, it's actually surprising to see how healthy its player count is looking nowadays. It's averaging about 30k players on Steam alone every single day, and then you factor in Battle.net and consoles as well. So it seems like a lot of people are still playing this game. Correct me if I'm wrong. I guess no matter how much people say that they hate this game and criticize it, it's just something about Blizzard's charm and art style that is able to hook people in quicker than a roadhog hopped up on an Ana-ult. There's still plenty of aspects of the gameplay that keep the game fun. The team synergies has always been one of my favorite parts of Overwatch, and it still feels very fun to coordinate with friends and pull off these synergies properly. Good God, I would never played this game solo queue. There's been plenty of controversial balancing changes as well amongst all of the heroes. I feel like that is a common occurrence in hero shooters. Blizzard has also taken plenty of heat from switching the format from 6v6 to 5v5, so much so that they're apparently considering switching back to the old format. It just seems that nothing with this franchise has been set in stone for years now. I would like to think that Blizzard would have benefited from keeping the game as Overwatch 1, but that's probably just not true because I'm sure they have made plenty of moolah since the switch from Overwatch 1 to Overwatch 2. Even if it, went against everything that the community wanted and now people hate Blizzard, but they still probably made out big time. At the end of the day, Blizzard just always gets paid, right? The entire headquarters could be up in flames and they would be printing money in real time. Okay, side note, I was curious on my Battle.net purchase history to see how much money I shelled out to this company as a young lad, and my Hearthstone purchasing history is pretty rough. Like it's bad.